The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Let the weekend begin!
Stories, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, you join me here, Snowman86, and we are back on Formula 1 Manager 2022. So we're here before the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, or Imola for short. And we're just going to do a quick comparison on our cars. So you can see Pierre's car is severely outperforming Theo's car, which is probably a little bit to do with their performances early on in the season as well. All the new parts that were given straight to Pierre because he's performing in the races and he's doing a outstanding job of keeping us in the points and getting us good points. Whether Theo has been struggling, so in this early phase of the season, unfortunately Theo is running mainly, he has some upgrades on the car obviously, but in terms of overall upgrades, just doesn't have them all. So where we can see that is if I go to the race and the car builds here, you can see that in Theo's car he's running the second development chassis, whether Pierre is now on the third. Front wings and rear wings are the same, side pods are the same, underfloor is also the same, but again on suspension you can see that Pierre is running the third development part, whether Theo is still running on the second development part. Engine wear and stuff is pretty even, so we won't worry too much about that at the moment, but that's where their differences are at the moment. Our next stages of development after this Grand Prix, we'll have a fresh set of allocations in wind tunnel points and CFD points. So we will be doing 2 more further developments to this car. We'll probably look at doing a front and rear wing upgrade. Or we might do an underfloor actually and a rear wing, and then our final one will be a front wing, and that will probably see us running kind of spec 3 across the board except for side pods. So that will have us in a good position, and we are going to start development on next year's car. So with that in mind, if I quickly go to here and scroll down, it is somewhere here. There it is, the FIA vote. So you can see that we voted against this, so it's an airflow focus change is what they went for. The other option was can't remember what it was, but either way we voted against it, but everybody else has voted for it more or less. So that is what we're losing out on next year's car, so heavily on the airflow, so we'll have to develop that. So that's where we're working towards for next year's car, guys, so we'll be pushing heavily towards that and see what we can develop. But for now, guys, we won't waste too much time, and we'll be back here with Q1/2. We'll see how we're getting on, and yeah, we'll be looking forward to the Imola Grand Prix.
After a day of free practice yesterday, we wrap up with a third and final session before moving on to qualifying. While many eyes may be drifting ahead to the big race, the teams and their drivers will be fully focused on the task at hand here today. Those who make the most of the free practice sessions will head into qualifying knowing that they've given it their all and done everything in their power to cement themselves a good strong position on the asphalt tomorrow. So here we are, ready to resume.
So guys, you join me here for the start of Q1, and we are sending our drivers out straight away because we have rain coming, guys, rain coming. So now I'm not sure will the track dry up in time for the end of it. It won't. So with that in mind, we're sending our drivers out now to see can we set fast laps. So So, and thankfully both our drivers won't be impeded by any traffic, so we should for the first time get Theo out of Q1, which will be good for us, guys. So we're just going to run here to the timing screens, and we'll see we did manage to get our practices more or less complete as we'd expect. Excuse me. And there we go, guys, our drivers are across the line in P2, P3. So we're just going to speed it up here to times 8, see when this rain is going to come. Hopefully it comes now, because that will, there we go, track is getting
So
wet.
it's raining, just watch out.
So with that said, guys, hopefully we won't have to send our drivers out again in Q1, because I don't think the track is going to dry up. So with that done, guys, I think that could wrap up Q1 here pretty quickly. I don't think anybody's going to be going too much quicker now than what we've managed to do there, so yeah, our drivers should be pretty safe. So that's it, guys. We'll be back here in a second. We'll catch the end of qualifying, or definitely of Q1, and we'll see where we finish up, guys. So here we go, guys, the results of Q1, and it's in for the first time. Theo's managed to get out of Q1, guys, so by just being quick with the weather, we've managed to get it. Who has dropped out? The Aston Martins are out. We would expect that. The Haas is out. Valtteri Bottas is down there. And Charles Leclerc is also down there, guys. So that is a big shock from the first qualifying stage here at Imola. So we'll be back in a second with Q2. And we'll see how we get on, guys. So we're here again for the start of Q2, guys. And as you can see, this time it is a wet one. So Theo has made a mistake there, I think, on his flying lap, which is going to cost them. So that's definitely going to cost him. He's across the line, and yep, that has cost him a little bit of time. So what we will do here quickly is get him back in, bolt on a fresh set of inters, and see can we get out again, because the track is going to get a little bit drier and wetter. So we're just going to reconfigure there. Bolt on a fresh set of inters, confirm, reconfigure, bolt on a fresh set of inters, confirm. And we're just going to see if we can get our drivers out for one more run before it gets probably too wet. I don't know, can we? But we're just going to see. So we'll get both our drivers out, and there's probably going to be lap traffic to be considered this time around as well. And I don't know, have we done this, because the track is now ramping up in pretty spectacular fashion. It's now saying 3.84 wetness. Strangely, I wouldn't have thought that was 3.4 wetness on the track map, but so be it. It's saying it is. And we're now officially into the wet, so I don't know, will we improve our times, guys? But saying that, if the track stays like this, and the weather's only getting worse, I think it's safe to say, guys, we might, again, for the first time this year, get both drivers into Q3. So guys, this could be a fantastic qualifying result for us. So we're just going to keep it on times 8 here as we shoot around. Need to refuel, ignore that. We can ignore that. Neither driver improving their times. Obviously they won't, because the track is so wet. What's concerning now is the track is starting to come back. So we're just going to reconfigure again, and we'll keep them on, reconfigure again, keep them on. So we're just, it's going to be a little bit tight here on what we can do. It's saying dry, so I think when it comes to this, we are going to send out once more, guys. So there we go, there's one out, and we'll try and get 2 out. So we're just going to speed it up again, see what happens. The track is still pretty wet compared to when we set our first set of times, so we should be okay, but the conditions will improve. And we're just trying to really realistically get Theo in here. That's what we're aiming for. Slower. Oh, is that Theo again? That is Theo again. So Theo, I don't think is going to improve his time, but we'll just have to see here.
And that's the lockup.
So he's having a tough old time, but Theo is currently P8, and that is the end of qualifying, guys. We are through, so we're into Q3, guys. It's been a dirty old wet qualifying session, But we'll see what we can pull out of the bag here in Q3.
So it's not training in the pit lane.
So we are back for Q3, guys, and we're just getting our drivers out straight away. Just in the event it does decide it wants to rain. It's saying it's not going to, but we're covering our bases, and Theo gets a little bit caught there with George. Gasly should get through him okay. So we'll be around here, set our first laps off the board, and yep, Theo is a little bit off the pace there, but I think a P10 is probably realistic for Theo there now. But we will reset him and we'll get him out for one more run towards the end of qualifying. So we're going to bolt on a fresh set of softs for both drivers. And as time ticks down here, we'll slow it down for the final run. Obviously, we'll try and get the best out of it. But Theo is 9/10 off the pace as it stands, guys. But Gasly, guys, great performance there, P5. And I would expect that out of Pierre because he's there on solid pace and pace alone. But you get Theo out here and maybe with a potential to pick up points, guys, is a fantastic outing for us. So we're just going to kind of keep this new format for qualifying going where we kind of just speed race through it. We mightn't show a whole pile of Q1 unless like this time around where we have weather events and stuff like that. So we have drivers looking to get out, so we're going to try and get Gasly out, and we're going to leave Theo till towards the end. There goes Theo. So we'll just get it to 8 times. We'll get him going around our laps. We'll get the timer up here. So we're on to our flying lap. So we'll go to 4 times for the flying lap and we'll see what we're going to set here. Theo crosses the line with 30 seconds left on the clock. So plenty of time for Theo, and he's nobody around him, so he shouldn't be interfered with. Hopefully he can run his own. So Gasly was slow but fast. Theo is fast but fast. We're going to ignore that. Pierre goes across the line 4/10 off the pace. So all we've left here now is Theo coming across the line, and he's quick and quick. Will he be quick enough to beat Magnussen, Ricciardo, Norris? We're going to ignore this. What can Theo do? Theo, oh, what a result from Theo, guys. Beats Ricciardo, beats Norris, and is up into P8. So the weather really has thrown a lot of things into the bag there. Not a single Ferrari in the top 10, guys. Oh my god. We have the 2 Red Bulls, 2 Mercedes. Have we the 2 Alpines? We do not have the 2 Alpines either. We do have the both McLarens, and we have a Haas, so there's going to be some quick cars back here trying to make a charge through the field. But from my previous experience on Imola, it is a tough race to overtake at, guys, so this could be a fantastic one for us as a team. We'll see how we get on. So I'll be back here in a second with the Grand Prix.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Qualifying went well for Williams, as attested by their strong position on the grid. Now it's all about finding that edge for the race itself. While this isn't the strongest grid position for Ferrari, qualifying isn't everything. I'm curious to see if they can go against the tide and make this race work for them. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
Meanwhile, in the grandstands, the red wave is swelling. So let's find out who wins the day here at Imola. Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. And there we have Pierre Gasly. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. And looking at the second Williams car. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. The race start is mere seconds away. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
So here we go, guys, 5 lights, and we are
And it's lights out, and
racing.
away we go.
So we're going to jump straight on board with Theo. He's lost the place, I think, to Ricciardo off the line. Oh, and he's going to get done by Ocon here. Oh, that's unlucky. So you can see now we've started Theo on the hard tyres as well, so it was important.
Keep pushing.
it's important that we get off to a good start. And with here, we lost out here as well to Alonso.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
So Alonso is also running the hards, which is interesting, as is all the top competitors. So we seem to be on a good race strategy in that regard. But can we just jump Alonso here, get this done?
And a
I
new
think we
position
will.
just gained by Williams.
I think we've managed to get that done. So that was important for us. So we're just going to flick to neutral here now, because we need to just conserve ourselves. Gasly with the fastest lap of the race. And I would expect that to change as well. My God, we're going to have to deploy. So Gasly has some serious race pace here, guys, and we're just going to flick it back to neutral. Jump in here with Tio. What's Tio doing? So we're just going to... Oh, Tio's going for the overtake here now, so we're just going to keep him on deploy. And I think we lost that one there. So we're just going to flick back again to neutral. But we have a healthy gap from the
DRS is
cars
enabled.
behind. So next time around we should be okay. And we have, again, Verstappen stretching away into the lead like nobody else he's racing against. And we have a little bit of a fight here with Russell, Perez and ourselves. Hamilton's also there, Norris is there, Alonso, Ricciardo, Ocon, Tio. So everybody's kind of in this train here behind George Russell. So now we need to start thinking about our tyre life. We don't need to be pushing it on extremely hard here on the hards. But now with DRS we should all be able to just be happy here now in this train, and we do need to do a little bit of VRS recovery. But we'll have to see how we go. For now we need to make sure, if we can, that we jump Russell. But I think he's got enough pace to stay with Perez, so it's not too bad at the moment. And we're just going to reset the interval, see how we're all looking. So again, Tio's doing okay. And we're going to run our engines here pretty hard in this race, because we did start with an extra lap of fuel. So we're going to keep that running pretty hard throughout the race. And it looks like Russell and Perez are going to do a little bit of squabbling. Alonso now has dropped to a second, has he? No, I think he's back. So again, we could be in for a good race here, guys. We're mixing it up here with the Red Bulls and Mercedes. The Ferraris are way off the pace again. So we're just going to hop on here with Tio, see how he's looking. And since we turned Tio down, his pace is really falling there. He's just slowly losing this field here, and still managing to hold on to P10, which is good. I would expect him to have the pace here to compete with the boys, but we'll just have to see. We're just going to harvest here for a second, back to neutral. So we just need to be watching this now, because we have 2 cars now in the points for the first time this year, guys, and it's important we manage to keep them there as best we can. As I say, we're going to, while we're on the hards, be running pretty hard and fast. That's the plan in my head anyway. And we just need to make sure that we keep Gasly in touch with the boys here, which I think he will. And the 2 boys are going to be fighting amongst themselves. Sainz now sets the fastest lap of the race. So it's all pretty ebb and flow so far. We're 7 laps in. And we're motoring through this, as I say, pretty hard to overtake here from my memory, but I do think Sainz will probably get Tio shortly, because I think he's going to fall outside the DRS pretty quick, unless he manages. Oh, he's keeping it. Hopefully Ricciardo now won't have the pace of Ocon or Alonso, so that might be good for us. And Norris is up there as well, so the McLaren's having a fantastic outing here as well, guys. And because the field spread is so tight, I think this could actually be an interesting race. We'll have to see what's going on. So far, so good. Norris is just about staying on the train with us as well. So that's interesting. What's tyre life like amongst people? So we have a couple of medium runners straight off the bat, so they'll be in early. Russell is one, Verstappen is the other. And we just have to keep an eye on Perez there. Amongst Theo should make a nice few spots here in a bit as well. All the guys behind him are on the soft, so they'll be flicking to the hards to run longer. So Theo could be in for a good outing there. How are the softs on? 70%, so they have another few laps to go, definitely. But yeah, will be an interesting race here, guys. And if Theo can stay with Ricardo there, or even jump him, we'll be on for a nice one. So what we're going to do here out of this one is just, we're going to harvest here now. Because I want to try and rebuild some battery, and I can't remember where the best place to do it was. I think it's here, because we should get DRS. We're just going to flick to neutral there, so that's Gasly into P3, guys. Don't know, were we expecting that, but we have it. And is that just a case of the softs now starting to perform a little bit worse than maybe what people were hoping, or the mediums, and because of that now we'll have the pace here to attack. So I'll be hoping for the next race as well that both cars will be running similar parts. We have no fresh updates coming, so that'll all be kicking off after this race as well, guys. And as I say, we'll be starting to research for next year's car as well. So the season is long, but we're already planning for next year, so we'll just have to see how all that unfolds. And just going to jump back here with Theo, see how he's doing. He appears to be falling a little bit behind, so we're just going to deploy a little bit. I need him to get back on the back of Ricardo as best he can. Hopefully we did enough there to give him DRS. I think we did, he did, so now we're going to harvest. We'll keep it on neutral even. We'll find a place to harvest if we can. Gasly's doing a solid job there, guys, in P3. It's a good old scrap. You can see them all up there. Everybody's kind of held up by George Russell at the moment. So we're just going to harvest here now with Theo, because he will get DRS no matter what he does. So we're managing still to hold off the Ferraris, which is good. And we can flick back to neutral then. So Theo so far, good outing, guys, but he's starting to really burn through that fuel now, which is a bit concerning. But we're going to keep him out there, keep him pushing hard. Gasly is out into P2, guys. Don't know when that happened. Must have been down the start finish straight, but Pierre now is up to P2.
Fastest lap.
And sets the fastest lap to boot. So that's fantastic going, guys. Pierre Gasly is flying.
Mercedes moved up a place.
And that was always going to happen when the overtake was always on. But we're doing okay so far with our guys. I'm afraid to slow Theo down anyway, because he's actually having a storming race here, guys, in P10. And this is exactly what we need. Maybe the extra updates we added to his car for this weekend is starting to help him. And as I say, the updates Gasly's running is definitely helping, because he's slowly moving up the field. Now we're way off Verstappen. And obviously in outright terms pace, we're about 5/10 off the best. But all we can do is hope and pray that our race pace, as it was last year and seems to be this year, is a little bit quicker than everybody else's. So Russell is running the medium tires actually, guys, so even if we can just stick with that, we should be doing okay. And I do think we're all on a DRS train behind Russell, so people are starting to pit now. So this is where it gets interesting, guys. So a lot of people into the pits there, so that'll open up the field a little bit. Ricciardo now will be under pressure because he's lost a bit. Gasly's now running P2. And we just gotta flick Theo and Pierre back to balance under fuel burn. But so far it's a good showing, guys. So far it is a very good showing, and we have a good run here on Ricciardo. We might get the opportunity. No, he's going to get DRS, so he'll get it, we'll get it. But George retakes the fastest lap of the race, and you can see now Hamilton is starting to stretch away from Norris a bit.
Gained for Mercedes.
So it's all becoming just a little bit interesting. I think that was all the soft runners in the pits. And some of them come medium, so they're doing a 2-stop race, which is interesting. But Gasly's tyres are in much the same nick as the mediums on Russell and Perez, so that's a little bit concerning as well. But we'll just have to see how we play it out here, guys. But for now, we're doing okay. DRS should close us back up here. And we're not pitting to like lap 40, guys, so we have a long stretch to go in these hard, so we do need to look after them a bit. So it is going to be an interesting old battle, so we're just going to, for now, speed it up to ×4 and see how we go. You can see the train there with Russell ending with Hamilton, and the next train with Norris ending with Theo, and Leclerc is on the back of that as well. Leclerc now pits. So interesting stuff playing out here, guys. But the hard tyres so far are doing a stand-up job for us. And yeah, we'll see how we're going on this, guys. So the soft runners went a nice bit into the race, which means those medium runners might see out the end of the race the way the tyre wear is looking. As I say, we burnt a nice bit of our tyres up, but the softs are starting to go now a bit, and us hard runners will be out here for a good bit longer. So it'll be interesting to see how Perez and Hamilton then fare out. As I say, a very hard track to overtake. That's my remembering the first race in year 1. That it was just a tough track to overtake. And Theo's doing a good job, just being dragged along nicely, hopefully by the McLarens. And hopefully Sainz and Leclerc and them get held up by Stroll. That would be good. This could be a good race for Sebastian Vettel as well. You see him there flying around his own in P10.
And there's an overtake.
Gasly's back up to P2. So guys, there's a potential chance that P2 could be our new best finish ever if we can play our cards right here. We just got to see how we're doing. We're 23 laps in. So we'll jump on board and see what's going on out there.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
But we're hanging on to the pace that Russell is setting in the medium tyres, which is good for us because we'll be onto the mediums for the end of the race, and we should have decent race pace then. Or well, we should have a good showing of pace, hopefully all going well. But so far so good. But Verstappen is slowly stretching away all the time, and he's just in a league of his own this season. I think he'll probably have it wrapped up as early as he has in real life this year. If not sooner, because he is just flying, walking every race, and unless we can develop a quick enough car, or Mercedes maybe improves their car, I think it's just going to be a fight like this throughout the season, where P1 is going to be a walk away for Verstappen, and as I say, the Ferraris, it's baffling to me where their pace has gone. Hopefully they'll come back throughout the season or even next year. The only good thing about Ferrari being slow this year is that P3 could become within reach of us, or it might be an Alpine fight. We'll have to just see how we play it. So we go. I don't know how we got to speed 1. We'll go back to speed 2 here, and we'll just tear along and see how it goes, guys. So Imola's always been a bit of a bore fest, as I say. I remember it that way, and that's the way it's showing up again here today. Tough track to overtake. Just gonna harvest a little bit down the straight here, because DRS should keep us in tow with Russell. Flick to neutral. Oh, we lost out there to Perez.
Red Bull gained a place.
So that could have been a bit of an interesting one, but... Ooh, safety car. Oh my god. So we're just going to ignore, but it is a chance for us to harvest up the batteries. We're not pitting, are we? No.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
So Joe is the man who crashed. So we should be safe enough here to recharge our batteries. People are diving into the pits now. So Verstappen is probably going to be the big winner of that, guys. And Russell will also be a big winner in that. Oh, that is upsetting. If we were on the soft or the medium starting, we would have actually been on a great run there, but alas, not to be. So while the safety car is running around here, guys, we are going to take a short break, and we'll be back to pick up the action after the safety car. And we are back for the restart of the race. So the safety car, you can see just disappearing around the final couple of corners, and we are going to go racing here again at Imola. So we are up to P2, P5. However, we did not make any pit stops, so this could be a tough couple of laps, but we'll see. We've 12 laps to see what kind of a gap we can build here. We have been able to recharge our batteries and stuff, so that's been one good thing. Verstappen is right behind us here, riding on board with Theo. So we're just going to go push again with both drivers. See, can we just kind of do something? Nobody there pitted, except for, as I say, so you've Verstappen, Russell, Norris have all pitted. So they could be your top three at the end of this race, guys. But so far we seem to be stretching our legs a little bit on the Mercedes of Hamilton. So if we can stick with Perez, we'll be onto a good one, hopefully. And Gasly's doing a stand-up job there, that guy's absolutely flying at the moment. So the real question for us now is, where can we finish on points? As I say, there's a good bit behind us that haven't pitted, so we could be onto something, but we just got to see what that something is. Now for Theo, it's important he grabs onto the back of Alonso there and keeps that DRS, or else Verstappen will be through. In fact, there we didn't even have to wait that long. Verstappen just sailed straight through us there. So Max is on a charge to take back the lead of this race, and I've no doubts he probably will do it at some stage. Another crash behind us somewhere.
Who's running wide there?
And we should get DRS, there we go, on both cars. So we'll jump on here with Gasly as he takes the lead of a Grand Prix, guys. And I'm not sure about you, but that's pretty exciting for us. Now the problem is where we are going to come out after our pit stop. That is the concerning part. So we just got to watch Theo's fuel burn. But it's looking pretty good here as Gasly leads the charge around the track. So unfortunately Theo is becoming the bit of a bottleneck there, so it looks like we're aiming to come out in that gap if we could. There goes Sergio.
Red Bull gained a place.
So for us now, guys, it's all about maximizing what we can do here in this race. Another safety car would be fantastic. It would give us a chance to pit and maybe see what we can do. But I think, unfortunately, our exploits that we managed to create in the wet weather at the beginning, in qualifying and stuff, might all come undone here now in the next couple of laps. We've 8 laps to go till our pit stop, so hopefully we don't get held up too much with the whole overtaking of us and Checo. But it's a great battle so far, guys.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
So our pit stop will be extended past lap 40, actually, I think, because of the safety car as well. So we'll have to see where we do. It could be lap 42 maybe we're pitting. But yeah, it will be interesting to see that unfold as well, guys. Theo is slipping slowly backwards in this race now. He's down now to P8. But Pierre is doing a solid job. And we have apparently a 1.3 second lead to Ricardo, so if we can keep that, we should be okay. Probably can push on a bit more here again and just go balance then with Pierre. Ricardo is catching us, which is a slight concern, guys. I won't lie, that is a slight concern. But the only good news is others still have to pit as well, so it's not the end of the world. As I say, the ones who have already pitted are Norris, Ricardo, and then behind us, I think everybody behind us will be pitting again. So hopefully we can take advantage of all that. So Perez looks to be trying to break the gap here a little bit from us to him. He's gotten it up to 8:10, so we're just going to push through the final section. I think we just did enough to keep DRS there. Yes, that is big. That is big. So that should close us right back up onto Perez.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
And there goes Ricardo past Theo. So the fresher tyres are a big difference to them. We're just going to get to balance here, and we're just going to get Theo just to deploy just a little bit here, with the goal being that we need to stay within that 1 second window, and hopefully Danny Rick can tow us around then after that. So we should have done that. So we just need to stay in that window as Gasly and Perez are fighting hard for lead. You can see Max is already up to P3, guys, so he's slowly carving his way through the field. So it's all interesting stuff, but we're just going to keep it out here as long as we can, hang it out, and hopefully we'll keep the DRS here with Theo, and he'll close right back up again onto the back of Ricardo, and we'll just keep gaining time that way, and that will do us. That would do us nicely, guys, because that will just allow us to pull away from Tsunoda and Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon having a bit of a scrap there as well. So it's starting to liven up here, guys, into a lively finish to this Grand Prix. Our tyre life is still looking pretty good. We might extend it by 1 lap on each driver. We just have to see how we're going. But yeah, I think Theo will just about keep the DRS here. And as I say, that's important for us as people now start to make their pit stops.
Red Bull moved up.
So it's getting interesting now, guys. The question is, do we keep Gasly out for 1 more lap? I think we will. In fact, if I do this and click on Gasly and click on edit, If I just move this one up here, update the strategy, and go back, click on TO. Can we do much with TO? If anything, we could probably bring TO back one lap. So we'll just swap our drivers to the original way we were doing it. And there's the pit option now for TO. So we're just going to pit this lap with
Boxes
TO.
lap.
Which means that we can then go full attack with Tio because he's on his in lap.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
We just need to ignore this for a while. So we're riding on here now with thing, and we actually lost out big time there.
Copy.
So I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on around me. But we're going to go max attack here now as well.
Gained a place.
So while we can, we're just going to go flat out attack here now. So Tio is out, so we're just going to drop his pace back to standard. Tio came out P15, guys. Oh my god. So for us now, it's all about extending this here with oh, virtual safety car. Wow.
VSC.
So that's unlucky because we could have pitted there. And that would have been bang on our thing, guys. Oh, that's so unlucky. We'll be ready for the pit stop.
There's been contact and several cars involved.
And box.
Here's
So
the replay.
let's just check the
Now
replay out
watch
of this and
Lewis
see
Hamilton
what happened.
involved in this one.
Big train of cars coming. Hamilton goes wide.
And that's a
Oh,
big
collects
smash.
Russell, collects
They'll
the
have felt
two
that.
McLarens. Oh, so that's a big one, guys.
And that was a bitter blow for
Oh, teammates collide. It's good news for us, though. What's not good news for us is people have managed to get into the pits. And I do think this could cost Gasly big time, guys. But we'll just have to see. Riding on board with Tio. Tio does win out of that one. And all this time we're just trying to recharge the battery as well for Tio. Gasly, oh, it's going to be so unlucky. Gasly's going to be in the pits when the virtual safety car ends. The only thing is Perez and Alonso have also pitted.
Stay firm on DRS.
So we are going to go racing again. Did we get help there by cars coming down the pit lane? I think we did. Oh, that's upsetting as well. So Gasly's tumbling down the order here. But he's out and it's P9 and P10, guys. So we'll just have to see how that goes for us. We now need to get back to tire management. But we can push on a little bit here. So you can see there is Gasly just ahead of Tio. Tio is having a storming race this time around, guys. And we've managed to get his battery up a bit as well. So we've 20 laps now left here, guys. And it really is just going to be a case of see where we can finish. I think we can probably run aggressive on both our drivers. Hoping we can. Hopefully we can get back into contact with Alonso and Perez. Strange enough, anybody needs to pit. Bottas might be the one who needs to pit. Perez and Alonso went on the soft tyre, which is interesting. And I think, look at that, guys, that is disgusting. The two McLarens are going to have a fantastic result here. Ah, so upsetting. But it just shows how far Verstappen is up the road, guys. He's just walking it. It didn't matter to him about strategy as much as it would have mattered to us. But unfortunately, McLaren are going to have a fantastic result.
You're doing very good. Lap time are good. Lap time are good.
Just goes to show we had the pace. So we just need to see, can we do anything with it now? So while we're in this phase of the race, we're just going to go 4 times and see what we can do. Gasly is slowly catching up to the back of Alonso. Unfortunately, I'd like to be where Perez is, which is on the back of Russell. And I think now we need to be paying attention here to our driver. Because what we need now is to get Gasly past Alonso, so we're going to just deploy out of here. So we break the thing down to 1 second. So that should be good enough for us. Gap is down to 5/10. Now we should get DRS here off the back of Alonso.
Fastest lap.
Another fastest lap for Pierre.
Yeah.
So we're just going to harvest just a little bit here now again. Actually we're not. We're going to go neutral. Hopefully we have enough here to get Alonso this time, guys. He's a crafty old fox, but we are through. So we're going to deploy here out the first couple of corners just to see can we get the gap.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
So this is our race here now, guys. We really do need, we need to watch our fuel. So we do really need to get past Russell, who will then hopefully jump us past the 2 Alphas. Nice dive there. That is one of them out of the way. That is big. We're through on Russell.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
So now can we get this done here on Valtteri? Just for the crack, we're going to overtake out of here. Oh, that is upsetting. So what we're going to do instead is deploy, and hopefully we can just maybe creep up the inside or around the outside, whatever way it wants to work. Like that. Going to flick to neutral. So this could be race defining for us, guys. We get us up to P5, which would be a fantastic effort. And there we go, we are through. So now the chance here now for us is to build this gap. So Bottas has pitted, but P5 is not a bad result. Those McLarens, they got so lucky and we got so unlucky. But we've managed to do a nice job of building the gap there from us to Vettel. So what we're going to do is just conserve our fuel for a lap or two. Just running slight concerns that we might be under pressure there. Oh, it's Russell who's chasing us, so we're going to have to keep it on.
Okay.
And thankfully Tio's up to P9 as well, guys, so he's doing a storming job. But we're just under a little bit of pressure now with our fuel management, so we need to keep an eye on that. But P5 from Pierre wouldn't be a bad outing. As you say, I do think a podium was on the cards today. But unfortunately, the way safety cars and stuff have worked out, And now, unless the McLarens take each other out here, they're scrapping pretty feistily. And Alonso and Russell are scrapping pretty feistily. So what I'm hoping now is that Alonso doesn't close up to the back of us. So I think we need to be ready for that. So we need to save a little bit of fuel. And all we can hope is that something might happen at the front of the race. But we've saved a little bit, and we're kind of Delta Plus now again, so we can actually race on. Alonso now is in the DRS, but Russell is still 2 seconds back. So now our fight is with Fernando Alonso, guys. So this could be a very familiar end to a Grand Prix where we did in the last one, where we were just pushing on as our drivers, trying to keep the faster driver behind us. And Alonso is on the soft tyres as well. So that will be a tough ask, I would think. But we'll see how we're going. We're down to 8 laps, guys. 8 laps. Now Alonso should get us there, which I would expect. But now I'm hoping we have the paces to hang on the back here of Fernando.
Alpine just advanced.
That's okay, and I'm noticing Tio is starting to come under a little bit of pressure from Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari. So we just need to keep an eye on that scrap as well. So what we're going to start doing here is building up our DRS here with Pierre, just for this final lap battle that probably will unfold eventually. So we're just going to lock in harvest here again, and hopefully with Theo he can hold off Charles, and we can just do a similar strategy at the end here. We breeze past Alonso there, that's okay. And would you believe it, Perez is after getting both McLarens? That's astounding work.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
The question for me is, can we catch a McLaren, guys? 4 seconds, what are our laps? We are lapping nearly a second faster. Interesting. Ooh, this could be a very interesting finish to the race, guys. I didn't realize we were on for this, but potentially there's a chance here we could grab the McLarens, and I didn't think that would be a chance at the start there of the reset of the race. So if we could get it, it'd be fantastic, guys. Theo is slowly catching Sebastian as well, which is good. He's slowly bringing the gap down, so that's good. I don't want to risk too much more with Theo, but I think we should just push him on, see can we get into Sebastian's DRS. If we can, that'll sit Dave off Charles Leclerc behind us. And we're getting the gap down to 3 seconds here, as there goes Alonso.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
So Charles Leclerc has gotten past Theo there, guys, but hopefully Theo can just hang on his coattails,
run wide.
and we might be able to get Sebastian Vettel towards the end. Just going to harvest here now again. The gap to the McLarens is down to 2.5 seconds, guys. We have 3 laps left. So it is definitely starting to spice up, and all this is just allowing us to charge our battery nicely here behind Alonso. Yep, Tio's hanging on back nicely to the back of that Ferrari, who's nicely catching up to Sebastian Vettel, which is all good. Hopefully we can get Alonso this lap around. Alonso's a crafty old... Oh, look at that. It's twice now he's blocked us off. So while that's happening, we're just going to flick again back to Harvest. So guys, can we get a double points finish with both cars? It would be a great result. We get Tio off the line as well, scoring some points. That would be big for him. And a bit of a boost of confidence as well, which is probably badly needed at this stage of the Grand Prix. So there we get the move done on Alonso. We are down now. We're running out of laps pretty quick, but we are catching these boys here in front, guys. Oh my god.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
So we'll have the DRS off the McLarens in front soon enough. Do I want to deploy now and get a little bit closer? I think we will. So it's a last lap scenario for both our drivers, but I think Tio can probably do deploy straight off the bat.
Yeah. Deploy.
So we're going to go attacking here. We've nothing to lose. Yes, P4, get in. So what can we do here now, guys? Can we get Norris? And that would be the final podium places. Oh, it's getting feisty, guys. Oh, I think we're going to just miss out on a podium, guys.
And today's winner.
Oh, another P4. Never thought I'd be so disappointed with a P4, guys. But, yep, that is where we are.
Checkered flag.
Oh, Tio has managed to get...
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh, Tio got the Ferrari at the end, guys, but unfortunately just missed out on Sebastian Vettel. But for the first time ever, it is a double points finish for Williams. And that is... well, not the first time ever, but the first time in this season, second season. I do think we've achieved it before. But that is huge, guys. This is huge. So if we can get Tio to keep kind of performing and bang a few more updates on the car, who knows where this could go. The Red Bulls are definitely the fastest car out there. We had nothing for them. Now our strategy was probably hampered a little bit, but definitely Pierre Gasly there shows that I didn't think we'd catch those McLarens, but we did. We got one of them, so we managed to get ourselves into P4, guys, which isn't bad. That's consistent P4 finishes now for us. So we're picking up nice points that way, guys. Nice points.
A wonderful result here for the Williams driver. Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing over at the team garage, I should think they're going to keep on doing it.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in third place in the constructor standings.
Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying down the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So there we go, guys. We are all wrapped up here in Imola, and again another P4 there for Pierre, which is fantastic. And he wasn't that far off setting the best lap time. You can see Max was nowhere close to running his quickest pace that he probably could have, being that Checo was nearly a second faster than him, but still managed to walk away with a 12-second lead and win the race. Tio has managed to pick up 2 points, so that's a fantastic effort on his part. And yeah, the Ferraris managed to get a point with Charles Leclerc, but Carlos Sainz had a disaster of a race. So you'll see in the standings we've kind of cemented ourselves in P3, but the Red Bulls are just slowly running away with it. And yep, Lando Norris there with a haul of points that he wouldn't have expected, and so same with Daniel Ricciardo, so that'll move them up to constructors nicely. And in fact, there it goes. And we have leapfrog Ferrari. There was only 1 point between us. We've now managed to extend that by picking up 14 points compared to Ferrari's 1. So we are up to P3 into constructors, guys. This is huge start to the season for us. If we can maintain this kind of pace, hopefully we'll be flying, guys. So with that said, that wraps up the Imola Grand Prix, guys. And until next time, I've been Snowman86. This has been Formula 1 Manager 2022. And as always, guys, thanks very much for watching. And we'll see you all again. Take care.